Hello, welcome at Disruptive Online. In this session we are going to talk about setting up a toolchain in Windows. And we do that with different tools like Eclipse, and we're also going to do that with Visual Studio Code. And I'm going to show you how you are going to do that and install all the tools step by step. I hope you will enjoy the video. First we have to install this, and how you do that is just download this setup file, and I already done that, so that won't take time in the video. I will show you. It's this file, and when you open it, you will see something like this. You click next, install from internet. You put the place where you want to install it. Click next. The file for your packages or your folder. No proxy for me. I just picked the first one as a mirror, and from that I click next. It's gonna load all the packages, and then you see this screen. You click full. These are all the packages that are in GGGWin. So I'm just going to show you which one I have installed. So I'm not going to talk about each one of them. So just take a look at this and just click them. When you want to install a package, you just pick the line, you double click, and then go next, and then it will install the package. I'm not going to do that, I already done that. Just take a look at this list, and be sure you also have these installed. We're coming back to the terminal from GGGWin. So, but first we have to do something else. When it's ready, you see this screen, and it's the status will tell you which packages are installed. So, in my case, there's nothing to do because everything is already installed. And you click finish, and that's it for GGGWin. The next thing we have to do is we have to download this package from the GNU MCU Eclipse. The URL is at the top, so you can see it here, and just then you know where I got it from. And you're going to download from the GitHub the right version for you. I have installed this one, Win 64-bit. So I suggest you do the same. And when you have downloaded this, you're going to extract it in a folder. And that's also I'm going to show you. I made this folder just on D in GGGWin builds, so you can name it whatever you want. And when you extract the package I showed you just now, you will get these two folders. So just put them there in and we're going to the next step. The next thing what you're going to do is, and you have to do, is get the developer's ARM package, and you get it from this URL. It's the GNU Embedded toolchain for ARM, and you got all these Windows versions, and you can also download the zip, this one. And when you do that and you extract the package, you're going to put it in the same folder you did with the other one, and you get this. What you're going to extract is this, and you need it later on to put it in your path, and also in the solutions like Eclipse or another IDE. What you also need is Visual Studio Code or Eclipse. It's up to you which one you're going to use. I really like this IDE. It's becoming more popular, and it also has the debugging from with the JLink and from Sager. So and I'm going to show you how that works, and that it works, and you're also going to see that it will give back all the information you want for debugging. So this one I'm going to show you how I managed to get that up and running. So I hope this IDE will also be preferred by you. But I'm also going to show I use some hardware. I'm trying to do something here. I have an STM L476 with some shields, and I've got a G-Link from Sager, which I have connected to my PC or desktop, and which I'm going to use to show you that the debugger is working. Then what we are going to download, we have to download is, let me show you it. That's Eclipse. You can also download this IDE if that's preferred by you, and just download the C++ version of Eclipse. What's next? What we have to do is we are going to start up or start the terminal from GGGWin, and we are going to do something what was told on the nuttx channel. Let me find that for you. Let's see, where do I have this? Here I have it. Well, Sergey Frolov and Greg and Alan, they already tried and did some great work to get it up and running. This is all without the IDEs, so this is just setting up GGGWin and also the toolchain like make menuconfig, how you get that working. And he is telling about all the packages you have to install, and there's also some steps what to do exactly to get it up and running, to get nuttx compiled in CGI, well, with GGGWin in Windows. So it was a very good start for me, and I'm just going to show you how I did this, and also how I integrated it in the IDE, so the complete toolchain is working for you, and you can develop and debug nuttx and your work from nuttx with these IDEs, because many people like IDEs and not only command line. I must say that and state that's also try to develop in command line, because it is very good to do, and it's very good practice. And also don't make applications only on Windows, but also make some in Ubuntu or Linux, and try to build nuttx there, because it will be a good learning curve and a learning and practice for you to understand nuttx in the best way. But that's up to you, of course. Then I am going to show you something else. Let's see. Let's get the right screen. Here we have the terminal from GGGWin. It's very easy to open if you have this. Just open the bat in Windows, and there you have it. So you can just add it like that. Before you open the terminal from GGGWin, then it's important you put your environmental variables in Windows. And I showed you here which one I added in the path. So when you open some terminals, you will and you can use these paths, and it will find the tool sets like you have defined. So when you're in GGGWin, you just do the really I try these on some different stuff, but what you also can do, and I'm trying to, let's see here on this screen. Here I have all the commands I did, and all the bad things are gone in the terminal to get nuttx up and running. It's very important to put in this line because it will do some characters, else you have characters, and the compile state will not work, and you get all kinds of warnings and errors. So it is very important you put this first before you clone the gits. And when you do this, just follow these lines. Just put them in like Sergey also stated, and it will and you will get it to work. What was nice is when you when you did this and all is compiled. I'm not going to do that, but trust me, it will work. Then I'm going to show you something else. Let's close this one. And I don't know, what is this? I don't know. Let's open this. Let's show you here. I'm going to open the terminal. Here. Cygwin nuttx. Let's say so I'm just going to go to nuttx, the folder. There we have it. And you do make menuconfig, and let's see what's happening. It's faster on Linux, but it's working. So no. It's doable. What you see here are very strange characters. So that's something I didn't like, and I want to fix that. And it's also stated by Sergey that he had that, and sometimes in the terminal from GGGWin. So I think I have a fix for this. I'm going to exit and exit again. And like in the history, here is mintty. If you install that also in GGGWin, like I showed you before, you just type this in your GGGWin terminal. Let's see, like here. So mintty, and what you get is a new screen in the same directory. What you can do now is do it again. Maybe it's because I already opened one, so that's why it can be a little bit slower. And there you have it, and all shiny and nice looking. So I think it's always good looking now. So I think this is a fix on which what was stated as a problem. I think this is very good to work with. So for now, everything is compiled, and you can also do make menuconfig. So you can also make your project here and configure your board. But you already did that with nuttx. That's another video from Alan. You can see how you can configure a board you want, and also when you can use nuttx. And in the history, here are some statements which make that possible. So you can do make menuconfig. And because you do that after make menuconfig, you have to make your project. So and that's what is going to be the next phase in this video, where I'm going to show you how you can use GGGWin in IDEs on Windows. Show you Eclipse, because that one is already open. Let's see, go to Project Explorer. I made a new project, new, and other, and I did this, make file project with existing code, and then next. And I have chosen the GGGWin GCC option, and you select here your project from the folder which you just git cloned your nuttx from, and build it with the commands I just showed you earlier. I already did that here, so this is what you're going to see. And what we have to do is, before we are going to debug, you already have an option to build the project. But first we are going to show you some settings in Eclipse. You just press, maybe I'm going too fast. You're just going to press with the right mouse on the project, and you go to Properties. And there you have your C, C++ build variables and C general. And you got your preprocessors and providers. And here CDT GCC build compiler settings GGGWin has to be there and selected, but it's already done that for you because you chosen the option I showed you before. So if you have some problems with this and how to get this up and running, just ask me in the video or in the comments, and I can help you out, or go to the IRC channel from nuttx, and I will be there online, so you can ask me some questions. Here are the build settings, the toolchain editor. These are the settings I use. I'm just going to leave it here so you can see what's there. And then the settings, nothing special, really. I didn't do anything here special. The environment, all default. So nothing special here also. So this is it. And then you do going to apply and apply close. And what mostly it will index your C files, and it will take some time, but I already went through that process, so that's not, I'm not going to do that. Okay, and this is finished, and when we see here that the build is finished, we got 0 errors and no warnings. So, and we have our nuttx hex and bin file, and also our elf. So I think this is all good. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to do our debug configurations for our glink. Sagger, you just put in a new config like here, and you fill in all the fields I have, like I have, and you can mess around with your own settings if you want to, but these settings seem to work, and I'm going to show you. So here is your Sagger link, and I am going to show you the link where you can get that. It's just on Google. Just put in JGGWin. Let's see. We have the downloads for JLink. Here you have the site. It's sagger.com, downloads. And you have to download the software documentation pack, this one. I have chosen this one. And I also installed Ozone, but you don't need it for to debug it in Eclipse or in the other IDE. But this is and can be useful to do debugging standalone with Ozone, so without an IDE. It's a nice tool, but that's not what this episode is about. So here I put in the device name, and you can check out which devices are supported. I do SWD, not JTAG. But that's like the connection. You can do that, but I'm not using it right now. Here I put in the executable for my ARM non-GDB. So I hope this is clear. And here we have all the settings, and you can trace them. Then our startup didn't really change here anything. Only the breakpoints where we stop, because nuttx doesn't stop with main but with __ start. So this is the place. Source didn't change anything. Common didn't change anything, and SVD neither. So this is all my settings. I didn't change anything, so I can apply. What's going on? Oh, it's already started, of course. So let's close that. And let's see, go again, debug, and again. Now it's going to build the project. You can also change that. just go to debug. So let's wait and see what's happening. And there it is. Here are the project files, and we'll start the JLang. Here you can see that. Compare Flash. Building it. Your variables are here with your registers. Also here, you can see all the registry files, your PC, your regular registers, etc. Well, you know what you're looking at here, I hope. So here you can see that the debugging on, you can also step in and step over and do some debugging in Eclipse. Also, you can place some breakpoints, of course. Just put the bullet before the lines and the code where you want to place your debugging. You can also go through your code and just place the breakpoints wherever you want to. So this is the debugging in Eclipse with the GGGWin and integrated in the IDE from Eclipse. I hope this was clear for you. Let's close this. The next thing is Visual Studio Code. I really like this IDE. It's upcoming, like I said, and it has some very good, cool extensions. These are the extensions I have enabled. So you can install them by using this ASCII doc. You don't need. I use it, but it's not if you don't want to. Git lens, Git history, GNU debugger. You need that. But I use Cortex-debug, not GNU, but you can play with that. But these are the extensions you need for debugging with GGGWin in Visual Studio Code, like in Eclipse. Here I have my projects and my workspace with all the code just like in Eclipse. And my project nuttx-space with the apps, the build root and nuttx. So it's all here. And what you have to do is you have to make a task. And this task is necessary to build your project. Just like you do that with make and build in Eclipse. And when you have made this build task, then just put in this with the right code places, and you can go to your command palette and run this build task. And what's going to do is it will start the terminal and it will build the project just like in Eclipse. So we are going to wait on that one too, just to see everything is working also here. And we're back here, and you see that it is built just like in Eclipse, and we also have the same output files. So it's working also in this IDE, so that's sweet. We're going to close this. Then we go to our start C, and we go to our start function, and I just put a breakpoint before that, so just for the debugger. We are going to make a launch.json file for debugger with JLang, and you can put in these lines. It's saying something about a server path, that the property is not allowed, but really you have to put it in, else it won't work. So I don't know, it's just a warning, so maybe there's an alternative. I didn't find it yet, but it's working in this way, so well, let's keep each other posted how this can be done in another way or better. But let's show you what's going to happen. We don't run it like this. We are going to go to our debug extension. And what you do is when you make like a config file, add config, and then you put in this and you save it, you get this, a debug-j-link, and this is the name I gave it. Then you get this config, which you can start. And you get these options, and there you have it. It is also, I have two breakpoints I see in two different places, but okay. Here are also the registers, just like in Eclipse, and you can even get some more information with this, and you can put it up and down, and you can do all kinds of stuff here in this IDE. You also have your variables, your source and destination variables, and your globals and your statics, and everything. It's shown just like in Eclipse. And you can also step over and step in and step out and start over and resume. So that's this is all working. So let's see with PuTTY. I have placed like now it's doing nothing. I can enter and it's not working because I am in a debug state. When I resume, then let's see, we have to go through all the breakpoints, pass all the breakpoints, and let's see, there I am, and just see what it's going to do, and you see the nuttx is working on this STM, which is built with make menuconfig and GGGWin, and also with the IDEs like I showed you. So I think this is the end of this episode, and I hope I have shown you that it's working on Windows. You don't need VirtualBox anymore. You can just develop and debug with nuttx on Windows. So I hope this was good for you, and I hope I could share my knowledge, and maybe till next time.